Kada gumanon siya, sabi niya,
Hello, Laura.
Hello, teacher.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm moving my chair. Okay, so how are you today, Laura?
I'm good.
Did you go to school?
No.
I know, you just stay at home.
Yes.
Okay. So it's still it's not yet dark in your house and I can see it.
Yes.
Okay, so you're in the living room again, right? Ah, you're in
Yes.
the dining room.
Yes.
Okay. So tonight so it's dark now, so it's tonight. Okay, so tonight we are having your activity, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so let's begin now. Let's start now. Okay, so the first one will be listening and speaking activity, okay? So now, Laura, look at the picture. Okay, this is part number 1, 5 marks. Listen and draw. There is one example. Okay, so Laura, you just have to put a line on the name and the picture, okay?
Okay.
All right, so let's begin.
Part 1. Listen and look. There is one example.
Is that Katie there, near the tree?
Yes, it is. Look, she's jumping very high.
Yes, she's very good at jumping.
Can you see the line? This is an example. Now you listen and draw lines.
Who's that girl running in the race?
The one who's winning.
Yes,
I think that's Jane.
you're right. It is Jane.
Look at Sarah under the tree. She looks tired.
Is Sarah the girl who's sleeping then?
Yes, she's tired because she's running 3 races today.
Do you know the girl who's won the Gold Cup?
The Gold Cup?
Yes.
Oh yes, I know her. Her name's Helen.
Oh no! Someone in the race has fallen over.
Oh yes, it's Emma. Is she okay?
Yes, look, she's smiling. She's fine. Someone is helping the girl who's fallen over.
Who is it?
I think it's Betty.
Yes, it is. She always helps people if she can.
Now listen to part 1 again.
Who's that
Okay,
girl
are you
running in the
finished?
race?
The one who's winning.
Yes.
I think that's...
Okay, so you must have 5 lines. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you missed one. Okay, you only have 4 answers here, but you must answer 5, okay?
Okay.
Jane.
You're right. It is Jane.
Look at Sarah under the tree. She looks tired.
Is Sarah the girl who's sleeping then?
Yes, she's tired because she's running 3 races today.
Do you know the girl who's won the Gold Cup?
The Gold Cup?
Yes.
Oh yes, I know her. Her name's Helen.
Oh no! Someone in the race has fallen over.
Oh yes, it's Emma. Is she okay?
Yes, look, she's smiling. She's fine. Someone is helping the girl who's fallen over.
Who is it?
I think it's Betty.
Yes, It is. She always helps people if she can.
That is the end of part 1.
Okay, that's it. Okay, now let's see if you got everything correct. All right, so number 1, Jane and the girl who is winning the race. Okay, very good. Number 2, Sarah and the girl who's sleeping under the tree. Okay, number 3, Helen and the girl with the gold cup. Gold cup. Okay, correct. Number 4, Emma and the girl who's fallen down. So that's Emma. Okay, and last one, Betty and the girl who's helping Emma to get up. Okay, very good, Laura. So in the first part, you got the perfect score. Nice start. Okay. Now let's continue. So now this is part number 2. Okay, it says here that you must listen and write. There is one example. So Laura, as you can see, you have to listen again and then write your answer on the blanks, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, Laura?
Okay.
Okay, let's begin.
Part 2. Listen and look. There is one example.
When did you meet your husband, Mrs. Hill?
It was in 1947, so that's 50 years ago.
50 years is a long time.
Yes.
Can you see the answer? Now you listen and write.
Did you meet in the summer?
No, it was in the autumn, in November.
Oh, was the weather okay?
Yes, it was a beautiful sunny day.
Good. What's his first name?
It's William. That's W-I-L-L-I-A-M.
Okay. Where did you meet him? Do you remember?
Yes, I do. We met at our school.
Oh, so you were very young when you met.
Yes, we were only 11 years old. But we weren't friends at the beginning.
Why not?
Why not? Well, we didn't like doing the same things. Then, when we were older, we had the same favourite hobby. And we were more friendly after that.
What was your favourite hobby?
We liked going fishing in the lake near our village.
That's nice. Do you still go fishing together?
Yes, we go a lot in the summer.
Now listen to part 2 again.
Okay, you don't have answer number 2.
Did you meet in
No.
the summer?
No,
Oh, you listen.
it was in the autumn, in November.
Oh, was the weather okay?
Yes, it was a beautiful sunny day.
Good. What's his first name?
It's William. That's W-I-L-L-I-A-M.
Okay. Where did you meet him? Do you remember?
Yes, I do. We met at our school.
Oh, so you were very young when you met.
Okay, let's check your answers. Okay, this is about Mrs. Hill. Year she met her husband is 1947. Number 1 month they met is November. Husband's name is William. Where she met her husband in? At their school. Okay, next one. How old when they met? It's 11. And then their hobby is fishing. Okay, good job, Laura. Your answers are all correct. Okay, great. Next one, let's continue. Now let's proceed to activity number 3, 5 marks. Listen and write a letter in each box. There is one example. So here. The people who live in the flats all get up at different times. At what time does each person get up? Okay, now Laura, as you can see, there are pictures of people, right?
Yes.
And then you have to write the letter of your answer on the box, okay?
Okay.
Okay, let's start now.
Part 3. Listen and look. There is one example. The people who live in the flats all get up at different times. At what time does each person get up?
Oh, I had to get up so early this morning.
Me too. But the person who lives in the flat next to ours gets up very late. He's a businessman, but he often works at home. He's got an office there. He gets up at 9:15.
Wow, that is late.
Can you see the letter D? Now you listen and write a letter in each box.
The policewoman who lives in the downstairs flat goes running before she goes to work. She gets up at 5 to 7 every morning. I hear her in her kitchen sometimes.
Making coffee?
I don't know. There's another person who gets up earlier than me. She's a nurse, so she has to be at the hospital at 7:15. She gets out of bed at 7:10. She told me.
Is she nice?
Yes, I like her a lot.
Who else do you know in the flats?
There's a mechanic who lives on the first floor. He gets up at about 8:20, then has a shower every day. I hear him in the bathroom. He catches the bus at 10 to 9, like me. Do you know, one of the people there is an astronaut.
No.
Well, he says he is. We don't know. He gets up the earliest. I hear his clock sometimes at 6:30. I couldn't get up that early. On most days, I'm still dreaming then.
Me too. Doesn't someone from the university live there too?
You mean Lucy? She's a student there.
What time does she get up?
At about 8 o'clock or 5 past, something like that. I'm not sure. She lives at the top of the house. All we hear is her music.
Oh.
Now listen to part 3 again.
Okay. One more time,
The
Laura.
policewoman who lives in the
Yes.
downstairs flat goes running before she goes to work. She gets up at 5 to 7 every morning. I hear her in her kitchen sometimes.
Making coffee?
I don't know. There's another person who gets up earlier than me. She's a nurse, so she has to be at the hospital at 7:15. She gets out of bed at 7:10. She told me.
Is she nice?
Yes, I like her a lot.
Who else do you know in the flats?
There's a mechanic who lives on the first floor. He gets up at about 8:20, then has a shower every day. I hear him in the bathroom. He catches the bus at 10 to 9, like me. Do you know, one of the people there is an astronaut.
No.
Well, he says he is. We don't know. He gets up the earliest. I hear his clock sometimes at 6:30. I couldn't get up that early. On most days, I'm still dreaming then.
Me too. Doesn't someone from the university live there too?
You mean Lucy? She's a student there.
What time does she get up?
At about 8 o'clock or 5 past, something like that. I'm not sure. She lives at the top of the house. All we hear is her music.
Oh.
That is the end of part 3.
Okay, so now, Laura, what's your answer in the mechanic?
I don't know.
You don't know why.
It's so fast.
It's too fast. Okay. And then you don't have answer also in nurse.
Yes.
Okay, anyway, let's check. Okay, you want to give me a guess or you want to try answering mechanic? What do you think
Yes.
is the letter here?
E.
H. It's H. At 8:20 is the time. Okay, next one is the university student. So what's letter A? And Laura, can you tell me what is the
Is
time? Oh, look at the picture. What is letter A?
I don't
What time
know.
is that? 8.
8:50.
Yes, that is 8:50 in the morning. Okay. So the correct answer is letter E.
F.
F. It's 8:05. Okay, next one, nurse, is letter E. It's 7:10. Astronaut is letter B, correct? 6:30. Policewoman is letter G. You are correct. Okay, so in this part, Laura, you got 2 points. Okay, now let's continue. This one is part number 4, 5 marks. Listen and tick the box. There's one example. Okay, so now, Laura, you must answer. Put a tick on the box of your answer, okay?
Okay.
Part 4. Listen and look. There is one example. How many homes has Richard's Aunt Betty got?
I've got 3 aunts, but Aunt Betty is my favourite.
Oh, is she, Richard? Why?
Well, she's nice, and I like going to stay with her.
Okay, let's continue.
Her homes are very...
Part 4. Listen and look. There is one example. How many homes has Richard's Aunt Betty got?
I've got 3 aunts, but Aunt Betty is my favourite.
Oh, is she, Richard? Why?
Well, she's nice, and I like going to stay with her. Her homes are very interesting.
Homes? How many has she got?
One for the winter and a second one for the summer.
Can you see the tick? Now you listen and tick the box. 1. Where does Aunt Betty live in the summer?
Does she live near your farm?
In the winter, yes, but in the summer she travels a lot.
Where does she go?
She goes up the river in her summer home. It's a boat.
Oh, she lives on a boat.
Yes, she likes visiting old castles and places near the river.
2. Where is Aunt Betty's winter home?
Does she live on the river in the winter?
No, she's got a little house in our village for the winter. It's opposite the hotel.
Oh, yes. Is it that little pink house?
Yes, that's right. That's her house.
Okay. So now let's answer number 1. Where does Aunt Betty live in the summer? Letter A is correct. Number 2. Where is Aunt Betty's winter home? Answer is letter B, not C. Okay, so you got 1 point here. Now let's continue to number 3, 4, and 5.
3. Where does Aunt Betty work in the winter?
Does your Aunt Betty work?
Yes, she works hard in the winter when everyone comes here to ski.
Does she work in the hotel?
Not now. She worked in the restaurant there about 5 years ago, but now she works at the theatre, in the shop there. She sells books and postcards.
4. How often does Richard see Aunt Betty in the summer?
Do you often see your Aunt Betty?
In the winter, we see her once a week. She comes up to our farm on Wednesdays for her milk.
And in the summer?
Only about once a month. Sometimes we stay with her for a weekend on the boat.
5. What do Richard and his sister do when they visit Aunt Betty?
My sister and I love staying with Aunt Betty. It's very different from home.
How is it different?
Well, she hasn't got a TV, so we can't watch anything.
What do you do then?
Most of the time she just talks to us, about her travels usually. Sometimes she goes outside and paints a picture. Then she comes in and starts telling us stories again.
Are they good stories?
Yes, and sometimes the stories are very long, so we don't go to sleep until after midnight.
Okay, now let's check. Number 3. Where does Aunt Betty work in the winter? Answer is letter C. Number 4. How often does Richard see Aunt Betty in the summer? Letter C is correct. And last one, number 5. What do Richard and his sister do when they visit Aunt Betty? Answer is letter C. Okay, wrong in number 3, correct in 4. And then again wrong in number 5. So 2 points only, Laura. Next on the next activity, I want you to get a high score, okay?
Okay.
Okay, this is very easy. So now you have to listen and color. Okay, such a nice activity, okay? So now, okay, now Laura, I will play the audio file and then you have to follow the instructions, okay?
Okay.
Part 5. Listen and look at the picture. There is one example.
In the sky, there are some clouds. Can you see them?
Yes.
Find the biggest cloud and colour it black.
Okay.
Can you see the black cloud? This is an example. Now you listen and colour and draw. 1.
Now you're going to draw another cloud
Where shall I draw it?
between the plane and the helicopter.
One cloud.
Yes.
Two.
How many birds can you see?
5.
Yes. Now colour 2 of the birds orange and 3 of them grey.
2 orange, 3 grey.
That's right.
Teacher, I don't have orange and gray.
Okay, I use yellow and black.
3.
If you look at the plane, you can see it has 3 windows.
Yes.
Now, draw another one.
A fourth window on the plane.
Yes. And colour it green.
Green. Okay.
Four.
Now find the 3 women in the picture.
Right. I can see them.
Can you see the woman who's nearest the plane?
Nearest the plane. Okay.
Colour her clothes blue.
All her clothes blue.
That's right.
Okay, finish now.
5.
Yes.
In the picture, there are some words. I want you to colour one word.
Which one?
Just colour the word flyers.
Okay. But what colour is it?
Red.
Flies is red.
Yes.
Now listen to part 5 again.
Okay, finish. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so
1.
now let's check.
Now you're going.
Okay, number 1, draw a cloud between the plane and the helicopter. Okay, next number 2, color 2 of the birds orange, 3 of the birds gray. Okay, so you can color it yellow and black. Okay, very good. Next, draw a green window on the plane. Okay, color the clothes of the woman next to the plane blue. And last one, color the word flyers red. Okay, good job, Laura. Okay, very good, because you got a perfect score again and you were able to follow the instructions. Okay, so that's it for the first activity, okay? Now, let's open one more. All right. Okay, so this is flyers 1, test 1, reading and writing. Wait a minute, Laura. Okay, so as you can see, Laura, there are words here on the right side of the screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, now, can you read the words, please?
You from
Start with scissors.
teacher for
Fork. That's fork.
for
Mhm.
dictionary dictionary
Dictionary.
dictionary
Okay.
a book
Oh, what's that? Geography.
geography
Okay.
a newspaper knife
Knife.
knife and
Oh, what's that? Envelope.
envelope a spoon a car a map postcard university
Yes, university. Okay, so we have here an example. You send this to a friend at Christmas. So the answer there is a card. Okay, number 1, Laura, read and then choose your answer.
You use theirs to cut paper scissors.
Scissors. Okay, that's correct. Number 2.
When you study this subject, you learn about Iceland and jungle.
Island. Oh, not Iceland. That's island.
Island and jungle.
Okay, what's that?
A book.
Again, when you study this subject. So it means this is a kind of subject. Okay? It talks about island and jungle.
A university.
Are you sure? One last try. I will give you a chance. One more time.
I don't know.
Okay. Are you sure you don't want to try to answer?
No.
Okay, so the answer here is, can you say it?
Geography.
Okay, geography. So geography is a study of island and jungles. Okay, don't forget about it. So number 3.
If you can spell a word, you can use this help you.
If you can spell a word, you can use this to help you. Oh, it's a kind of book. If you can spell a word, you can use this to help you. What's your answer? If you can spell a word, you can use this to help you. You want me to tell you the answer?
Yes.
Okay, so this one is a dictionary. Okay, so in a dictionary, Laura, you can see the meaning of all the words. And then you can also see the correct spelling and pronunciation of words. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so Laura, let's continue again our class on Monday evening. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So see you again on Monday, Laura.
Bye.
Goodbye.